Shift our focus now from Minnesota to the staggering amount of widespread fraud, which is currently plaguing the most popular state in our nation. That's my home state right here, California. Right now, the Trump administration in the process of unearthing an enormous number of massive fraud schemes here, sunny California, and despite claims by Golden State authorities to the contrary, they're finding more of these heinous scams each and every day. In their latest discovery, the Small Business Administration says they've just found nearly $8.6 billion in shady loans that were handed out frivolously by California officials during the COVID-19 pandemic. And as a result, they're now suspending any further assistance for more than 100,000 borrowers who were allegedly part of those schemes. According to the SBA, the accused fraudsters allegedly lined their own pockets by taking advantage of a number of lax payroll protection loans and other disaster-related loans, which were designed to help people scrape by during the pandemic. Now, the SBA also says they're taking decisive action in order to deliver accountability, and states whose unchecked welfare policies are creating a culture of fraud and abuse. And guess who's at the expense of? Yeah, law-abiding taxpayers and small business owners. Furthermore, the agency claims that this latest move is their most significant crackdown ever on pandemic-era fraud, and that it shows the colossal scale of corruption, which was tolerated by the Biden administration for literally years. They're also likening it to their recent actions in Minnesota, which is reportedly a drop in the bucket by comparison. In the meantime, California officials say the Trump administration gravely mistaken when it comes to their baseless accusations concerning Golden State fraud. The officials say they're not wasting any money at all, and that in reality, their state is the victim, not the culprit. They also say that programs are helping poor people get their hands on much-needed health care, housing, and food as well. I'll buy that because, hey, who's ever heard of fraud in California? Final thought, and this is the News Roundup Lowdown. When you really stop and think about it, California is really nothing like Minnesota. Over there, they have close to 12,000 lakes. California, I think we have 3. There's Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear Lake, and Shasta Lake up north. That's about it. Minnesota gets tons of snow every year, and here in California, it's sunny and hot each and every day. Although it almost rained last Tuesday, and it was crazy. There was a big run on umbrellas. But for all our differences, there's one thing we do have in common. Tons and tons of fraud. And not that I'm overly competitive, but as a lifelong California guy, I think we'll end up beating Minnesota. I say we've got pole position, and the race is on. Years into the investigation, Minnesota is reported to have about $9 billion worth of fraud, and with just a limited look at the books, my home state already up to $8.6 billion in pilfered dough, and the investigations will most likely shed additional light on even more fraud. Now, I'm not one of those fancy odds callers, but I know a good race when I see one. You put all the pieces of that goofy little puzzle together, and here's how it all pans out. In my judgment, California governor, a guy called Gavin Newsom, is slightly more corrupt than Minnesota's governor. This little-known guy right here, a guy called Tim Walz. Our state's social programs have less oversight. And if this much fraud has already been uncovered, my prediction is that within 5 weeks, tons more fraud is going to be discovered. And my belly, this one right here, tells me when all the counting is done, we're going to win the big, bad fraud race. Hey, Minnesota, nice try, but you got to get it pretty early in the morning to out-fraud California. And at the end of the fraud race, we'll see the checkered flag while you're still on lap 14. In your face, Minnesota. Hey, Bill Thomas here. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And don't forget to check out our channel, News Roundup with Bill Thomas. And that's where you can catch our full program and more videos. And we'll see you right back here next time.